Hi, I'm Liz Cully, and welcome back to Cool, Cool, Cool. Each week, I give you a glimpse into what I think is cool and chat with a ton of people that are definitely cool. No topic is off bounds unless, I guess, it's not cool. Welcome to Cool, Cool, Cool. We can always stop. That's the amazing thing about video podcasting. Though my favorite thing, and you as somebody who has been famous for so long in music and audio.
I can't, famous is it's not, I don't ever feel like.
This is the only podcast my older brother and sister will ever probably listen to because it's you.
Oh.
So I better do a good job. Honestly,
what a great family.
Yeah. Real supportive.
Yeah.
But I just love now, I read this report. It's like, podcast, the new strategy in podcasts is video. I'm like, that's called a talk show, you dipshit.
Exactly.
And it costs 3 times as much, you dumbass.
Yeah.
It's kind of like music videos, remember? They were like, now.
Yeah, like we're on the set of TRL right now.
Oh, my dream. Did you ever go on TRL?
No. We were just like 120 minutes. We were a nighttime band show. We did I didn't do it though, because Courtney did a 24 hours thing and it's really hard to find, but it's like her reading magazines and it was like a launch of her solo project, I think, that I was on. Anyway, it was, but
not on MTV or on MTV.
It was on MTV. And I was like, I'm going to skip this one. It was kind of like, what is in it? It's interesting because it's like, she stays up the whole time. Then there's shifts of people that come on.
And they film for 24 hours. That's such a stupid idea.
Right? I know.
But you know what's funny? I also read recently that people said that TV is just becoming what MTV was back in the day. Like all the crazy dating shows, all that reality awful, TV. Weird reality, which I love.
Yeah,
actually, because it was such a wonderful time.
Yeah, you and Steph both have a really, really good sort of knowledge of obscure reality shows that showed up for a second.
Well, yeah, I told you to watch Gigolos.
Oh, okay.
Did you watch the whole?
We did. I didn't know it was soft porn though.
I told you.
I know. I just edited that part out of my mind.
Did you get to the whole murder one too?
No.
Oh, you're not done.
We got the first. We started the first one, and I was like, "Wait a minute."
You got to keep going.
Full on.
It's completely mental. It's truly the fact that Gigolos.
The guy.
Wait, hold on. The fact that Gigolos had 3 seasons, then it has now transpired into one of those people murdering someone, and then it keeps going. Then during the Diddy trial, 2 of those motherfuckers showed up as 2 of the sex workers that Diddy had Cassie contract.
Oh my God, you've brought it full circle.
It just won't.
You brought it back.
Gigolos is the most underrated reality show ever.
Okay, we started watching it and then.
Just don't watch it with your kid, obviously.
Right now. But we were Steph was like, what is this? And I was like, oh my God, it's fascinating.
It's crazy.
But just nuts. The guy that's sort of the coach, what is he?
Blaine. Just don't. Oh, he's wonderful. He's on TikTok, full QAnon, full Trumper.
Oh, wow.
I mean, that's not surprising.
Right. Yeah.
Just wait. You have to now watch the most current documentary about how the one guy murdered, the one you wouldn't think murdered anyone, murdered someone.
Okay, I have to refresh myself with the cast of players here.
Yeah, we'll go through it all. Honestly, I'll come over because I could rewatch it. It is sort of a weird friend watch because it is porn.
Right, that's the weird part. It's not let's get together with friends and it's
watch softcore.
I know,
after late night Showtime porn.
Right.
We really want to bring it back to the 90s.
What was it was the nighttime Showtime? What was that whole time called? Wasn't there
Late Night After Dark?
Oh, that.
God, Patty, what were you doing being famous on tour with Hole during that time?
That's the other thing. There's a whole era of television that I missed because I was playing music, but also I was checked out. I'm in recovery, so I missed all of Friends. Never saw one episode.
I wasn't in recovery. I was just not that interested. I've never watched like CW.
Right. Yeah.
Don't know anything about
I know, like, there's like, I maybe caught a One Tree Hill once, maybe.
Never, not once. But I was in New York, like partying in the early 2000s, actually having a good time.
There you go. Okay.
So fun fact, your book is the only book and first book I have ever listened to.
Okay.
Book on tape, or I guess you don't.
Yeah.
Audiobook?
Yeah. Yeah.
It was like you were telling me a story.
Right.
I mean, it's great because I know you, but I was like, every day and I'd get in the car and I'm like, okay, Patty, what are you going to do now?
I know. Don't do it. It's like a horror movie sometimes. And then it's like, don't go there. Don't. Oh, God, she did it again.
You do it again.
Yeah.
And again.
Over. Yeah.
And again. And I was like, Patty, no. But it's so endearing and so interesting because I thought about it. Like, I wonder if Patty, even if it was Seattle, like even if you had grown up in Seattle, but it was like 5 years before or 5 years later, do you think you would have had the same life?
You mean what? Wait, rephrase that. What do you mean?
Like, you're a musician wanting to play music. But so my question is, do you think that the time in the city and the music scene, had it been 5 years before or 5 years later, you would have gone through the hardships that you went through?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. No matter what, because I mean, it wasn't about, I mean, it's part, I can't say that my environment wasn't part of my addiction or the road but I will say, well, because I was a drunk before I ever joined my band. And if that's what you're asking.
Yeah, I guess fair enough. But it just felt like it was so exacerbated by the scene.
Exactly. And what a great job to have if you're a person that's an addict and an alcoholic. Yeah. I mean, that's luck right there. But I mean, I knew that when I was 11, I wanted to be in a rock band, right? You know, like playing drums in my room, thinking about, you know, one day I want to do this.
Sure.
And, but never really thinking, you know, it was a dream, never really thinking that would happen. And no one really, like, especially like maybe if you're a kid in Hollywood or something, you would think that, I don't know, because that's entertainment capital or whatever, but not Seattle. Cause it was so like everybody's parents worked at the mill and the, you know, at Boeing or whatever. It wasn't really a place to like, you know, you don't really become famous coming from Seattle. It wasn't a thing. So that was a whole, like, no one thought that they'd ever hear any bands that we went to see live on the radio. You wouldn't hear them you were hearing Van Halen, you know, stuff like that.
What a bummer. But you say that, and yet so many of your friends and contemporaries were the only thing we listened to.
Right.
You have Nirvana, Hole, and then a lot of other white people bands.
Right. True. So true.
That I have to remember. That was also fun. You really did bring me back. I was like, God, I haven't thought about that or like this or that, you know, because that wasn't my, like, obviously Nirvana, Hole, you were everything that I listened to. I mean, you couldn't not. But I also prefer music from Black people. Right. But that's just me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And different generations.
I am a different generation. But I was like I think kids, it's so interesting. People, and I know you have a tween.
Yeah, well, she's 15, almost 15.
He's almost 15?
Yeah.
Wait,
learner's permit almost.
Why did I think September. She was like a sweet little baby angel 10-year-old? She's a sweet little baby demon 15-year-old?
Yes.
Damn, good luck.
Yeah, we're in it.
Skincare is only just the beginning.
Right. You're speaking
her language. Yes. Oh, I know, because I have a 13, 14-year-old niece. All they talk about is skincare. I was smoking cigarettes, drinking literal like tall boys in the park, listening to music. But that's where I was going is it's like, I think everyone says, oh, teenagers these days and young kids are so advanced and they know so much. But I think they're actually very disconnected from culture music the way we were because we weren't influenced by the internet. Like I was 8, 9, 10 at your peak, but I watched MTV and VH1 every single day. I listened to the radio. I made tapes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think they do miss kind of, so I was young, but it was still my generation.
Yeah. There's so much more information though. But it was such a, so like cool, niche, special to like discover a band because you're listening to the college radio station or whatever, and then find out the connection, like whatever band you know, that band, I'm going to get all the bands on that label, you know, and then it's just sort of like kind of cool in your own thing. And now it's like, it's overwhelming.
It is. I mean, I would go to Amoeba every Tuesday because that's when music dropped.
Oh yeah.
Go see new music, and then I would buy it, open it up. I wanted to see every single person who wrote or played on every single song. Then I would go see who, you know what I mean?
You're amazing. I love that. Thanks. I love that.
I was so psycho about it. Yes. And then, you know, then everything ruined everything. You know, white men in Seattle created Amazon. So it's true. Yeah. You talk a lot, which is like in the beginning of the book about your family and your parents really being involved in AA. Yeah. Which is such a fascinating, I wouldn't say twist, but layup to what would then become your life. Because
obviously
a lot of people I know in my waspy life, like everybody's an alcoholic, but no one ever talked about it.
Right.
And most people wouldn't get help or wouldn't go into recovery or wouldn't stay in recovery. They didn't even know what recovery meant. Yeah. But you already had this family foundation of people that were very honest about their drug and alcohol abuse. It was
a secret though. Like nobody in my neighborhood or in my friend group as a kid growing up had parents that went out to meetings, you know, it was like a thing that they did. And then we just didn't talk about it to anyone. We just let them, you know, they did their thing, and we would go and hang out with other families that went to the same meetings. And so it was a secret. And it did feel like keeping the secret because there was sort of a bit of shame around that too. But that, you know, it saved their lives, you know, and that's where they met, was in a meeting in Brooklyn. But it did make me feel so different. And besides all the other things that, you know, then I discovered I'm gay. I'm even more different. And then, then of course I turn out to be an alcoholic. And along the way, they're like, well, you know, they gave me, you know, resources, but it was always like, I'm not like you. I don't.
You felt like that.
Yeah, I'm not going to go to. You know, but I'll never forget my first drink. It was like, oh, finally, you know, now I feel comfortable. And like, it did sort of register in my brain. I'd heard my parents speak before. It did register that feeling of relief that alcohol or drugs bring. And it did do that. And then I knew, well, this is how I operate in the world. This is, you know, I started smoking at 12 in the grocery store with my dad. Grocery store, smoking with my dad.
Right next to the cantaloupe. Right. So it just permeates.
Exactly.
Remember cigarette vending machines?
Yes.
What a time to be alive.
Right.
I loved those things.
Yeah. Marlboro Reds.
Oh, I smoked Camel White on filters.
Wow.
So gnarly. I loved a Marlboro Medium. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, they tried all kinds of, it's just a cigarette. Really.
Also, cigarettes are so expensive now.
Yeah. Oh, I'm shocked.
I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Whoa. I looked at that the other day. But yeah, I used to have 2 places in San Francisco I would go. They would let me buy a whole carton, $15, and then I would sell Lucy cigarettes and mixtapes to all the girls at Convent.
How cool are you?
I'm not that cool. I was a business woman. I would drink Alizé and put them in Johnny Rocket's fucking.
Wow.
Yeah, but I was an asshole. You know what I mean? Like, it's so interesting because, like, what were we doing? You know what I mean?
Well, like, just getting by. I don't know.
Literally just getting by. But I guess when you started to drink a lot really young, were you ever, like, did it ever occur to you, like, maybe did you feel like you could tell your parents about it?
No, And,
I mean, I
you know,
guess-
they were like, my parents got divorced. So then it was like, you know, my brother and I lived with my dad, and he had his own thing going on. He had his own, you know, his job and his whatever, dating, whatever.
Sure.
And so
And your mom was really involved in
yeah,
AA.
my mom would go on and speak and go on these speaking things, and that took her away. So, so me and my brother, we would, you know, listen to records and like get into punk rock. And then that was our thing, you know, and I'd play drums and then get into bands and go to shows. And, you know, like the first time I got arrested was, you know, just drinking in a parking lot, and everybody like in between bands at a show in Seattle. And I'm like drinking a 40 in the parking lot, and the cops come up and they're like, and I don't know what I felt invincible. I was like, you know, I was not going to pour that shit out. I'd like set it down.
You're like, sir, this Mickey's.
No, oldie. This oldie.
Old E.
Oh.
So gross.
But it got the job done, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like about that right
Efficiency,
away.
Patty.
Yeah.
Gotta
quick.
keep the time.
Yeah. So, yeah, I got arrested, and everybody else was like, what? Why didn't you just, you know, pour it out? And, you know, and I was like, well, you know. So, yeah, I got arrested. And then, so then there was consequences every time I drank. And so I had to readjust each. And I had to find one, you know, like, oh, I'll just do Coke now with alcohol. And then you just start this chemistry experiment of
But you didn't like Coke, right?
No, I loved it. Where'd you get
you didn't
that?
like weed.
That's it. Weed is the thing.
There was one that was shocking to me.
Yeah, weed never, like, I never really, it just didn't really do it for me.
So interesting. I mean, I guess, yeah, Coke, I did it one time and was like, this makes me sleepy, which I think means you're a drug addict.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I was
totally.
like, oh, this is weird. I'm cool off this. Yeah, weed you didn't like. You say that in the book.
Yeah.
You were like, oh yeah, Coke. Well, Coke and booze, I mean, it's like peanut butter and jelly. Really?
I know.
Right?
Yeah.
Like,
It's amazing.
there you go.
So, you know, I played in bands, and like there were other people that drank like I did, and punk rock there were people there that were at shows that were weird like me, like I was gay. And so I found other people that were gay or dressed differently, or, you know, guys that wore dresses, and, you know, girls that had flat tops and whatever.
Yeah.
So I found my people, and drums kind of led me through all that. And that was my kind of my scene, my like Seattle. But I didn't really think that anything would go from, you know, like I was saying earlier, like anyone would become famous, you know, in my scene of bands and stuff.
When did you know, wow, things are going to change?
Well, there was always, you know, a few bands that like their video made it onto MTV, you know, or whatever, like small time stuff. But I guess probably when Nirvana, like, which was crazy, you know, it was nuts. And I remember when they put out, after they recorded Nevermind, there was, you know, everybody traded tapes. You know, here's the finished of the new Nirvana, and it was on a cassette, and like it's like the 8th generation copy that sounds so sludgy, and you could barely, but because everybody had taped over and over and over again, and it was great. You know, it was like, it was really cool, and these were great songs. But we'd been hearing parts of those songs like live for a while.
Right.
And then, but then when it kind of blew up, it was the craziest, you know, thing with MTV. And then to be in a band like Hole, you know, Courtney needed a drummer. They were married. So he was like, you know.
Wait, hold on. Is that trash ruining Patty Schemel talking about getting into Hole? Because I'm going to fucking pregnancy rage. Sorry, Patty. Will you continue again?
Yeah. So Kurt reached out and said, you know, my wife, well, his friend Dylan reached out. My wife, Courtney's looking for a drummer. So, you know, I got into Hole, and it was weird to be in up against a band like Nirvana, because that's not how, like, their superstardom and the way the world went and the way the world received their music wasn't typical. I mean, to see it up close was crazy. And, but it's, to be in the first time in like a band that's signed, I was thinking, well, is this, am I going to get a house with a swimming pool? Like all those crazy wishes you have when you're a kid and you think, and it's not really, that's not really what happens.
Well, but you saw that with Kurt, you know what I mean?
I did.
And so you were like, and in some ways, from a fan perception, Hole was like the female foil to Nirvana.
Yeah. And I mean, Courtney set it up almost in a way with this sort of competitiveness with Kurt, like, our indie record sold more than Bleach or what, I don't know, but she's always been so good at winding you up and winding up the press and winding up, like creating these situations where it becomes sort of, she's a bit of a villain. Right. And so people are, and then Kurt is the innocent kid, right? But that's not really, I mean, if you read my book, you'll see.
Yeah, no, you go through that. And I mean, but you were so close to their relationship. I mean, you lived with them when Francis was born.
Yeah.
Was it just the three of you and the baby? So it was like two women and a baby, or a throuple and a baby. I don't know what you would call it.
I can't believe that was never made into a sitcom, actually.
Yeah, but, like a bunch of drug addicts raising a baby.
Yeah,
like rock musicians.
I mean, it was great that I was there for. Like I was kind of when we lived together. I was a little more together. I mean, I can't say just an alcoholic, just drinking, but I mean, it was, Kurt and Courtney and Francis. And then, they had a nanny, Jackie, who was there too. So she lived in a different part of the house where we were at, or apartment. And so it was, it was Kurt, Courtney, me. And then sometimes we would hang out together, and then me and Courtney would go and like write songs and stuff. But I don't know where we were.
No, it's just wild that because when you're in a band or any kind of relationship like that, it is work friendship. You know what I mean? So you then coming into such a intimate situation of like living with them. Also, it's chaotic.
Yeah.
Kurt is famous as fuck.
Right.
You guys are becoming bigger and bigger and bigger. You didn't really get a respite.
Right. And it was really weird to go out with them, to go anywhere, like go get pizza or whatever, or go to Michelli's. You loved Michelli. And people would be like, just freaked out and like, and it was crazy. And so that was weird to watch that happen. And Courtney, like, she ate it up.
Yeah.
And Kurt, not so much, but that was such a crazy mind twister to watch that. And then, but to also want to like lessen that craziness for them too. I felt like I had to, I don't know, I'm a middle kid. Maybe that's why.
Oh, that's why. Yeah. Well, and it's probably some Al-Anon bullshit.
Yeah, totally.
That you're like, Mom, Dad, everybody be calm and fine. I'm a product
Everybody's
of divorce.
okay. Well, I'll go ahead and I'll get the pizza. Whatever.
But was it ever, I mean, there's always all these rumors, and you address this a little bit in the book that like Kurt had such a huge part in writing a lot of Hole, or like vice versa.
The rumors that Kurt wrote any of that record on Live Through This there's a lot, like the two most popular songs, probably like Violet and maybe Miss World or Doll Parts were written. Well, Miss World wasn't written, but they were kind of written before, maybe at the beginning of, I don't even know if they were together yet. Okay. And so, and because Kurt showed up at the studio, we had written, everything was written in our rehearsal space. Yeah. And then some written in the studio when we were recording. And it took forever to like go through these songs and to like construct them, you know, because they like from the first whole record was really kind of not a lot of structure, kind of a cool noise, you know, sound. And then when I came into the band, I kind of felt like putting more, you know, making more defined parts and stuff. And that's where Courtney was at too. And I guess to go back to when we lived together, I think when we were together in the house, it was like, I have the same sort of cultural references that Kurt does, you know, like he knew like which, you know, like we just watched the same TV shows. We knew the same music, you know, local stuff, favorite old bands, and Courtney too, because she was from Portland. So we had that connection, and that was kind of cool, you know, to have that and to share those kind of things, because our world got big, and it was nice to have that. Yeah,
like a commonality, and you were young.
Yeah,
you know, like really young. Like so young, which is nuts. And you're like flying all over the world. I mean, the drug transportation that you outline in the book is wild.
Right.
I remember like in boarding school, shoving weed and shampoo bottles or like up my cooch.
Yeah.
But like you guys were like just putting fucking needles in your pocket. Like, let's go.
Oh my God.
I'm like, you guys. Like, what?
But it became like, eventually it became we never like did drugs together. That was Courtney
and Kurt. Well, Kurt, you talk about
Kurt
in the
and
book.
I did, but it was like a thing where we were like, you know, we hid from each other.
Right.
All of us. And so that was another part of it. Like eventually I think one of my last live shows with Hole was we fly to Tuktoyaktuk, Northern Territories, and it was this thing.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It was it was like in way up North Pole, and it was Molson beer fly. It was a contest. We're going to fly 100 people, 500 people, contest winners to an unknown location, and so they're not going to, and then you get to see these bands, right? So they fly all these people out to this middle of nowhere. We land in this poor village. I'm sorry. It felt like we're invading this village, right? But I'm strung out, right? Yeah. And so I need to like figure out a way to how to get I'm not going to be able to play the show if I don't, you know, I need to bring illegal drugs into Canada, and the amount of preparation involved and like being so fucked up and then having to do this. So, you know, like wrapping it 6 times, putting it, like trying to figure out, there was no internet either to figure out. So, you know, I remember like them, like, so it's like Metallica is there, Veruca Salt, and us. And so we're all on this plane, this like jet, and they had our management, Peter Mensch, gets on the plane. He's like, okay, I just want to let everyone know that we're going into, you know, he's given us the speech about do not bring any, you know, illegal substances because, you know, we're just going to bring the whole, you know, we'll get arrested. We won't be able to do this show. And that's going to cost us a lot of money. It's going to cost you a lot of, blah, 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 blah. And I'm thinking, you know, like everybody's thinking, oh, it's because of Courtney, right? But I'm thinking, holy shit. I'm strung out, and I'm pretty sure everybody knew anyway. So we take off, we land, and I can see out come the drug dogs, and I'm like, fuck. And I look out the window and I could see, and I was like, I don't know if they're sniffing our plane or somebody else's or whatever's going on, but I was like if I wasn't on heroin at the time, I don't know what I would have done. But it turned out, I mean, I got through unsuspected and managed to, you know, play the show. But there's video and photos of, you know, us doing this like meet and greet in this gymnasium in this village, you know, like the rec center or whatever. And it's like Lars from Metallica and then Courtney. And then I'm sitting there and I look like, I haven't eaten in a year, just like the worst. And that's, I guess, in a nutshell, those are the kind of moments that it's going to sound so corny, but like drugs stole from me. Like that was such a great, I could have enjoyed myself,
Maybe not with Laura's, but
still, I mean, hanging out, like watching Metallica play was so cool.
Yeah.
I really like Kirk Hammett a lot, but I mean, there's like a lot of moments like that I spent freaked out or not totally there for.
Yeah.
And, but in a way it was like, I felt like I had to do drugs to get through the life, too, and didn't know how to show up for life without doing drugs. So, and then it backfires.
Well, it's hard. All, the traveling, all of the lights, the camera, the action. I mean, you're also gay. You talk about, you're also just,
throw that in the mix. Yeah.
But you talk about, you were just sort of like, didn't make a thing of it, but then it started you being a lesbian becoming a thing around you, which I'm sure that feels sort of strange, especially in the 90s, because it wasn't like it is now.
Yeah.
Did you have any iconic lesbians like kind of do the like, I'm gay too thing to you on the down low?
Not.
Or were you just like so fucked up you don't even?
No, there was some, but there was like moments where, we're hanging out with like Sandra Bernhard, which she never, said anything to me, but like, or there was never any exchange. It was always like, she's hanging out with Courtney or whatever. But, and at the time I felt comfortable in being out because I feel like, also, I didn't give a fuck, and then like I spent so much of my life giving a fuck. And then I was like, fuck it,
Yeah.
And then it came out in Rolling Stone when we did our, we were on tour, we were doing Lollapalooza, and it was just part of sharing my life with being interviewed for that story. And so then it was, out that I was gay. And I did have like a sticker on my drums that said dyke.
You did?
Yeah.
That's so gay.
That is so gay. And then, we did Saturday Night Live, and then people were like, hey, what's it? So, but I never had like Gwen Turner, but she's not like I'm thinking of like
Guinevere Turner.
Yeah, Guinevere. Yeah.
She's nuts.
Gwen Turner. Well, I'm just thinking about like what
I've heard a lot
if there was
about her.
ever a time when there was, I used to have like it was pretty well known. I had a huge crush on Shalom Harlow, right?
Who didn't?
But there was never.
Did you ever meet her?
Oh yeah. Yeah. She was friends with Melissa, who was in my band too. And we went to, like an MTV Video Music Awards or something. And we were all together.
Casual Shalom Harlow, 90s MTV music. It's like so iconic though.
Yeah.
It's like just throw Kurt Loder and like Daisy Fuentes in the mix and we're just good to go. You had so many people die around you, which is so heartbreaking. Your band member, like, it's just like, over and over and over again. How did you feel like you dealt with it later? Or do you feel like because you weren't obviously scared straight, as they say.
Not at all. No.
No.
And that is just, another cliche, but that's what's part and parcel of what, doing heroin, people OD and with Kristen, she was our bass player and she was the greatest bass player. She, we were all getting high like that. And I don't know. It was after when she died, it was like, I had to keep, I got clean, but then I couldn't stay clean, and I just kept using to like numb all the feelings and all the stuff. And, same with Kurt too. And then, but it still creeps up, and it shows up in different places, and it still does, but you just deal with it the way you're supposed to. You talk about it, and, and you honor that person. But when, you can never make it go away, that feeling of, sadness. And that's how intense, like again, cliche of like addiction. It's like, it doesn't, it didn't scare me straight. I didn't go, well, that's it. I'm never going to do this again.
Yeah. Because you feel that invisible, like it's not going to be me.
Right. And also like, well, I can't get sober now. I can't feel anything now. I'm not going to like deal with this.
Yeah. As a kid, it was, to me, I always just thought, and then as an adult, because I have worked with her once, but Courtney always seemed to be fucked up and on drugs as somebody watching, right? Who knew nothing. Yeah. And it's interesting because you do talk about a lot in the book and just now, you never, quote, do drugs with Courtney, or it's like was very separate and you all hid it from each other.
Yeah.
And then much later, you have this like amazing moment in the book where you guys eventually do drugs together.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's so interesting because she's such a brat all the time with you. Like you can see through your like remembering of stories. I'm like, oh my God, like Courtney loves you so much, clearly, because it's like familial at this point.
Yeah.
But were you ever surprised that she didn't like try to get you sober more earlier than she did? Or like, do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Because I'm shocked that she wouldn't have been like, what the fuck, dude? Or do you think she was too fucked up?
Yeah, she was all fucked up, but she was also like, I showed up to do my job, as much as I could early on. And, I would like make these rules around how, like, I'll never drink before. But then I was a liar too. I lied quite a bit, like I'm sober. Everybody thought I was, and I wasn't, right. So I'm sure she's doing her own thing. She doesn't know. She thinks I'm sober, and kind of, when after Kurt and Kristen and, everybody kind of went in their own corners, and kind of did their thing. And then, show up here at this time, we're going to start, rehearsals for tour and show up and be sober. And, so, I mean, that's how it went. And then we were on tour, and then we were, off tour. And then, it starts to, gets back to her. You're like, hey, Patty's really, and then begins all the trips to rehab and the, and then me going into detoxes, because I was trying to show up, because I thought, okay, now they know. So I'm gonna lose my job, basically.
Which you do.
Yeah, I do. And like, Courtney has said it herself, there's only room for one junkie in this band, or one drug
Which is
addict.
her, essentially.
Yeah. So,
but I do love the like image of you guys doing drugs. You're totally fucked up again. You've come back, unfortunately, to the dark side.
Yes.
Millionth time.
Yeah.
And you guys are just like going through designer clothes.
Right. Yeah. That was at the end of.
I guess you sold all that shit.
Well, no, I still have some Versace shoes. I mean, they're really great men's shoes that I love, still have. And a couple, I really liked Helmut Lang, so I managed to.
That's so fucking 90s, and I'm obsessed with that.
I know.
Keep that Helmut Lang.
And then Jill Stewart.
Yeah. Yes.
Is that
Sandler?
Sandler, thank you. Yes. Suit, thank you.
Sick.
Yeah.
Because that's, it's funny. I had Liz Feldman on the show, and we were talking about people that are root forable, which is like not a real word.
Right.
You're so root forable in this book. Like,
thanks.
You're welcome
for that.
You're like doing this crazy shit. I'm like, God damn it, Patty.
Yeah.
And then you do it again, and then you do it again. But then there are these moments when you're so fucked up, you're at like the bottom of the barrel. I'm like driving on the 405, listening. I really did like that I listened to it. I was like, oh my God, Patty. And then you jack this whack ass dude that you're living with it's my favorite scene. Like, you're living with this guy who's a piece of shit. You're
Right.
doing tons of drugs. He's totally controlling you with drugs.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Because
yeah,
men
yeah.
are garbage.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's got these scary dogs.
Right. Right. Oh my God. Yes.
And then you're like, oh my God, I remember. You wrote it in your book.
Yeah.
And he leaves and you time it back to come rob him.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're not really doing something that you're supposed to be doing. But I'm like, fuck yeah, rob this guy, Patty.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you do. There's so many moments of that. And you come out, scathed-ish, but unscathed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is really amazing, actually.
I know. And I mean, there's a lot of moments where I'm like, whoa, like so close to the edge there and managed to make it through. And
you do.
Yeah.
Why do you think you always make it through?
I'm that's a tough question, I guess.
You're pretty root forable and you're amazing.
I guess,
so that's probably the answer. But
yeah.
Because you're a survivor, likely.
Yeah. But I mean, I think a lot of the times what was driving me in those moments was like, get more drugs. So that's I don't know if that's, but
yeah. But there are so many people you meet along the way when you're doing shady shit, like myself included. I mean, growing up in the city, I mean, now that I'm pregnant and having a kid, I'm like, I would be horrified and panicked if my daughter did the same shit that I did at 13. Like, big time scared, like kicking it with rappers in the Fillmore, doing drugs, like, what? Like, who's me hanging out with Rappin' Forte and like, what, Liz? Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Sneaking into clubs on hate. Like, real fucking selling drugs, like doing, I guess as an executive, I shouldn't talk about that, but whatever, it's alleged.
Yeah.
Doing so many things. And yet I kind of loved the people I met in those really sketchy situations because honestly, like normal adjusted people are quite boring. I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, great. Your parents love you. Your parents are fine. You don't need therapy. Like, I mean, for me, I was hanging out in the projects with a bunch of chaos.
Right.
Do you ever like miss any of those crazy people? Or are you like, that's just some chaos? Like, are you glad that you crossed paths with some of these crazy characters? Obviously not the ones that hurt you. But.
Yeah. Yeah, in a way. I mean, there's some friends that I met that were great artists and great writers that OD'd or, by their own hand, killed themselves, committed suicide. And I miss those people.
Yeah.
And they were really special. But also, like, I don't like to do like name drop, but there's moments in my, like, I remember having a really enjoyable conversation with Scott Weiland at our dealer's house.
Yeah.
About music and stuff. And
sure.
And that was great. And it's always that situation where, like, it was like, he's sitting there and I'm sitting there and we're both high. And then the dealer walks in and it's like, hey, do you guys want to see my photo book? And we're both like, really? Like we
You're
don't
like,
really
we have to.
Maybe
But he'll like us and give us some extra.
Yeah. It was that kind of thing. And it's
sure.
like, that's the kind of shenanigans you have to go through when you're at the dealer's house. You have to sit through them talking about how they're going to be a photographer and they're going to, it's the real deal. And you're like, wow, this is good stuff, and it's such a line of shit, but that's like, so yeah, I miss Scott Weiland for that.
Yeah, for sure. But you also show, I think, in the book a lot what many don't discuss, which is women who go through addiction and women who go through different stages of the program, getting sober or not.
Right.
These sober living facilities in LA.
Yeah.
Like, fucking Christ on a crutch.
Yeah.
Like, I think addiction sometimes is really through the lens of men. A lot, especially in film and television, and you don't see all that women go through and how they're preyed upon, but also the inner relationships between two women who are trying to get sober.
Yeah.
Then I felt like homophobia that you went through going through these.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
you were kind of throwing the cat around though. You were kind of a hoe.
I was.
You were kind of a
I
hoe.
was. I mean, which was, once I put down the drugs and alcohol, I picked up the ladies, that was
just a lady killer. I was like, they're like, we're not letting you back in because you fucked around with some people. You're not allowed to do. Yeah, that's kind of trouble.
I mean, and food too, I got to say that too. Like they have this ridiculous saying that you put down, when you're a junkie, you put down the spoon and pick up the fork. Okay, edit that out. Edit that out. It's so corny.
But you talk a lot, and actually, and I don't know if you noticed this about yourself, or maybe you did. You talk a lot about being skinny.
Yes. Yeah.
In the book.
Right.
Which I really resonate with because I hate myself. So, and I'm like, have had eating disorders my whole life. And I'm a kid of the 90s where my mom was like putting me on slim fat. Like,
right.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it was
yeah,
such a different time, like then.
Yeah.
I joke, I was out to dinner the other night and these people were drinking in front of me. They're like, oh, do you care that we're drinking and you're pregnant? I'm like, no, but if you were doing Manjaro right now, I'd flip the fucking table and kill you all. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, don't do that. But you talk a lot. It's like when you were using, you really liked how thin you were.
Yeah, I did. And I mean, I had the Prada pants and I had it was like and plus it was part of, Courtney was so about our
image.
Yeah. And not saying, like, I'm not throwing it all at her, but I will say that, because I too would get into these, I would feel better if I was skinnier. Like I'd show up, we'd have photo shoots, and it was like, it killed me to go to a photo shoot and not be able to fit into the sizes, that like those were a thing. Plus the way you looked when you were photographed. So I would get, strung out, and that I'd be able to fit into whatever the stylist brought. I could just wear it off the rack and not have any worries about how I looked in front of the camera or what I was wearing or what I had to hide, And that was another part of being in my band and being in front of people and performing that was contributed to my addiction as well. Was like that. I mean, I already didn't have the greatest self-image, and then you add people, and thank God it wasn't like nowadays. You're picked apart like the minute you post something or whatever. But then it wasn't.
Thank God you didn't have social media.
Right. I mean,
what a time.
Yeah.
That would have sucked.
Yeah.
I do feel because it's not like they're shortening music so that it fits a full TikTok video.
Right.
Like, get fucked.
Yeah.
Do you think like punk music still exists? Like new kids are making punk music, or is everybody just like robots and soft? And like,
yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's nothing's original really. I don't know anymore.
Yeah.
But it's cool that you can, anyone can make music from, I guess that's kind of punk rock in a way, that you can make your own music and any way you want, and, write your own lyrics, and then you can put it out yourself, But
I have to tell you, I mean, because I don't even know if you know this. I don't really talk about this too much, but I was in a band for a really long time in San Francisco. Do you know that?
Do tell.
Yeah, Liz and the Lifted. Look it up on the internet.
Whoa.
It's the worst name. It's true. I gigged all the time. Boom Boom Room. Yeah, I did the thing. You don't know that?
What, like what?
I sang R&B music.
Like, whoa.
Yeah, it's true.
You're a singer.
Yeah. But I had really bad stage fright. Kind of fucked my whole shit up. So I drank too much when I would perform.
Yeah.
And actually my band was like, it was interesting because I was with these guys. They had a successful band called Box Set in San Francisco.
Okay, cool name. I like it.
Horrible music.
Oh.
It was like them and Train, but Train got famous.
Oh, okay.
Like Train used to open up for them.
Oh.
This is true. We all don't speak anymore. And I think of all people can probably understand this, but we were in this band and it was great. But, you know, like a lot of them were on pills. I was a lot younger. I was really trying to make it happen, but I didn't know how to play music, which was really difficult for me. I could sing and I could come up with songs, but I needed them.
Right.
And I think now what I see with young kids when they make their own music, it's like they're losing that, like, you got to work with a bunch of drug addicts to make
right
music.
in a room. Yeah, I see what you're saying. More organic exchange between people.
Yeah, but I was so dependent on them. And then I became to resent them so much because I needed them to make music.
Yeah.
And they were like, 20 years older than I was and totally fucked up. And I love them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Forever. But I like, don't know if we ever need to talk again. Like, it's one of those things where I go and check in on them, but I don't like know if I ever... There's a lot of pain and a lot of emotion and a lot of shit there, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, I think that actually also fuels creativity. And I think a lot of kids are missing that.
What a great point you're making.
Thanks.
I'm going to tell you, there's a, like, okay, I'll say that, like bands like the Ramones, let's say, they hated each other, but they made the best music because they hated each other, I think. You know,
do you feel like you whole made that?
Yeah, there was so much friction in that band. Yeah, I've said it before. It wasn't like we're all going down to, on tour. Hey, let's hit up this vegan place in New Haven together as a group. Like, no, there was none of that.
You guys just like went to your separate rooms.
Yeah, except for Melissa. Me and Melissa were.
Oh yeah, you guys were close.
Tight. But also like then there's, I'm gonna say it. I can't. I'm just going to say
Gen Z is horrible.
Oh, no.
I said it for you.
No, I'm going to say, then there's bands like 311. I'm saying this quietly. They love each other and they're fucking close friends.
Whoa.
But I don't care for their music.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm just saying.
311.
I think maybe too much.
You're taking me to a place I never wanted to go back to.
It's an example. Like, I think that tension also, not that that's the key to success by any means, but edit this whole part.
Really? It's so funny. Please don't make me. It's so 311. That makes me think of like Sugar Ray.
Yeah, that sound. Yeah.
What a great. Can I tell you a meme I saw that was so funny? It's like, don't you love it when Sublime says, "I'm gonna like rip on this guitar like a killer," and then he plays like the most whack guitar solo ever.
Yeah.
It's like so fucking funny. I mean,
I hate that band.
I hate that band too.
Because I don't like pot. I don't like weed. So
I don't like any of that shit either.
Okay.
I liked weed. I was a huge stoner, but I didn't like.
What's that Dr. Dre record with the pot leaf on it?
The Chronic.
Is it The Chronic?
Yes.
No, there's another one that's black.
The Chronic 2001.
Yes. Okay. All right. So
that's like really front to back an iconic record. Even though he's
according to my girlfriend.
Yeah.
Steph, that it is. She agrees. Okay.
Well, yeah, Steph and I are essentially the same person.
Exactly.
So yes.
So we went, I'll tell you this story.
Yes.
We went to Nobu, right? You know that sushi?
Yes.
Is it sushi? Yeah. In Malibu for Thanksgiving, this past Thanksgiving.
Who goes to Malibu for Thanksgiving other than the Kardashians?
Really? I don't know.
Yes.
It was sort of like let's go,
that is
last minute.
So fucking funny.
So we go in and we're seated and I'm like, I'm going to, get up, use the restroom. I go use the restroom and I'm washing my hands and I can hear the music and it's that guitar twink, 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 twink.
Yeah.
What's that song?
Well, I don't.
It's from that. It's from song. That. It's a.
That was kind of twink twink. That was hard for me to name that tune. Is some guy going to come out and give me $10,000 if I name that song?
It's that one Dr. Dre song. It's with Snoop, and it's like
they're all with Snoop.
Oh, okay,
every single one.
Well, it's
what is it, Joseph? Still Dre.
That's it. Right. Okay. So it's just that looped. That
sure.
Guitar part twinking
Slapping the bass,
a sample of something, and it's continuing on and on and on. And I'm like, this is. I don't know. I know it's of it. I'm familiar, and I go out, and it's like a mix, like a
Tiesto mix.
Yeah, like an extra, I pull up the chair and I sit down with Steph and I go, God, it's going on forever. I can't wait till Eminem starts rapping in this. And she goes, what? And I go, right? And she goes, no, what? This Eminem?
God,
she goes, no, Patty, this is Dr. Dre. And I was like, oh. And I thought, like, cause I don't know. It was.
Did you ever meet Tupac?
Cannot stop talking about this moment.
Did you ever meet Tupac in the 90s?
I didn't. I didn't meet Tupac, but I didn't. Who was the one that went out with Chelsea Handler? 50 Cent. Yeah.
Curtis Jackson.
Yeah.
You met him?
Yeah.
No good vibes?
Just
whatever.
Yeah.
I feel like he and I would be friends, actually. He gets a little mean on the internet, but I could get down with Curtis Jackson.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, you're like, whatever. But yeah, I mean, so you can't, you have no reference to the rap.
That's what the point is that, I don't.
Not your thing.
And she, talks about when we were first together, she felt a little intimidated about talking about music with me because I have a whole genre of music that I love and talk about freely. And she is of a different
vibe.
Time and vibe. Yeah. So, but I'm fascinated by your and her vibe and
but I'll
time.
even take it different because I am like so deep cut R&B, like historian.
See,
basically.
that's
because I can go into a whole nother level. Like there's a very famous musician named Kenna who's a dear friend, and he and I like all fucking school. He put Justin Timberlake and Timberland together. Okay. Like,
so he's responsible for that.
He's unfortunately responsible for that. Do you also love how Justin Timberlake's like, I'm really bad at performing because I have Lyme disease. It's like, first everybody out. Yeah, it's the news story. It's like, no, you're a drunk and a dick. But anyway, so I go to Kenna and I'll just like, and I always feel pretty excited about it. I'll send him new people all the time. Like he didn't know who Jaguar Wright was, who then ended up, I know Jaguar Wright from 2001, like when she was on OK Player, one of the first, she also sang Jay-Z Unplugged VH1, like, but then she became a weird conspiracy theorist person on TikTok.
Yeah.
But I love rap deeply, but also I just love R&B music, like deep hardcore, and then take it further, jazz, real jazz. So I never feel intimidated. I'm like, I don't understand punk. It hurts my ears. I did go to a punk show once in Northampton, Massachusetts.
Okay.
2001. And I just looked around at these white people.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, and they were all hardcore sober. What losers.
Oh, straight edge.
Straight edge. Thank you.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you're just pushing up against each other from aggression because you can't get wasted. Losers. I literally went outside, smoked a bowl, and was like, put on my North Face puffy and was like, get me out of here. These fucking white people are weird.
Scooted away in your Timberlands?
Yeah, just fucking shuffled out. You know what I mean? Just like, didn't even lace those things. But I think if you love, what I've learned with musicians is if you love your music and your confidence, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, totally. And and like she has over the years
tolerated your music.
No, she has enlightened me with like some really interesting music that she enjoys. And she'll say, this came from here and this comes from here and these two were together and they made this and, so that's cool.
Listen, your book gives so many, for anyone that just loves music history, there's so many iconic moments, whether it's like, you going up to the North Pole with Metallica or talking about reuniting with Courtney when Courtney was going solo and you guys go visit Linda Perry. I almost do not want to tell that story on camera because you have to go and read or listen to Patty's book because I was laughing so fucking hard with that Linda Perry story, like deeply laughing. And and like you obviously talk about, the rise of Nirvana and seeing it right there. There's so many amazing music moments in that. Even Veruca Salt, like that was such a time capsule.
Yeah.
And so I think regardless, that's what's really fun, you know? And then we have to be like, Patty, please don't die.
Right.
The entire book, I'm like, Patty, please don't die. Patty, please don't die. Patty, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And thank God, you know, I mean, nowadays I just get so worried because I'm like, there's just fucking fentanyl and everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
That really kind of ruined the vibe, right? Like these fucking kids, any kid of time, I'm like, you can't even experiment.
Right.
Like you don't do drugs. You're just going to die immediately. Like,
right.
What a buzzkill.
And, you know, I mean, at one heroin, they always was, it preserves your skin or whatever. But now they're even,
nobody said that.
Yeah.
Literally, no one has said, oh, well, heroin, you look good.
keeps you young. I don't know where I heard it, but nowadays there's like stuff in drugs that makes your skin horrifying. I mean, it's always been.
Yeah. What about P2P meth? It's synthetic meth. You could go and do crystal meth.
What are your P2P meth?
Have you not talked about this with Rachel?
No. Oh my God. I love Rachel.
I know. Rachel went on a ADHD, I think somewhat on the spectrum scale of deep dive fascination into new forms of synthetic drugs and why there's psychosis on the street. Next time you come over, book an hour early. She'll tell you all about
like
it.
xylazine and all that.
But essentially, it's all this like gnarly it's P2P meth, which is essentially really chemical, dirty, cheap meth. But it immediately induces psychosis and all the hoarding and like all the things you see with unhoused people in LA or like, it's the collection garbage. There's all these things. Back in the day, me in San Francisco in the 90s, it was like just gay guys doing like Tina.
Right.
And
if
like
you know.
Going into fucking hotels and having gangbangs and like going to Badlands and having a great weekend. And I'd be like, hey, I see him at Hot Cookie. I'd be like a kid with my backpack getting cookies at Hot Cookie. All these guys, like a fucking little Lemmings line of guys just not fucking on meth. I'm like, have fun.
Yeah.
Get fucked. Get fucked. You know, do you? Do you talk to Courtney at all?
Yeah, we talked, I don't know, early, like January, like.
Oh, you do talk?
Yeah. She messaged me and she said, on
like Instagram?
No,
like
texted,
on the phone.
Texted. And sorry, messaged.
Could you imagine if you're like, yeah, she hits me in the DMs.
And said, like happy holidays or something. And then
in January, just to be clear.
Yeah, it was, yeah. But also you have to chant with me. And I was like, well, I'm in Los Angeles, you're in London. And she's like, no, it's over Zoom.
Oh, those crazy aunties.
So I'm like, all right, we'll see what this is all about. And Steph's like, yes.
Let's see. Oh my God, are you kidding me?
And so it's a Zoom room when we're chanting, and there's like her guy leading the chanting, a Buddhist chanting, and there's different names, and some people are there, like Pamela from Pamela DeMar. She's like the groupie.
Yeah.
And what was somebody else? It was like, it wasn't Gwyneth, but it was somebody like that. It wasn't Gwyneth, but I can't remember. There were some names and I was like, Kate H.
Hudson?
Maybe.
Oh, because you're just seeing fucking Zoom boxes. Classic.
Right. And then Courtney is like, Pat, she's and then, it's the same, never changing, always the same. Right there. And so then we're all chanting. And I'm like, okay, let's chant. And then she sends me, some more texts like, you can chant, Pat, you can chant for, inner peace, serenity, sobriety. But, if you want to chant for the sports car and the mansion, do it. You'll get it. Guaranteed. And I'm like, okay.
Honestly, I fuck with that. I just want a pool.
Right?
I really need a pool. Even just a little one. I'm like, that's all. I've like let all that other shit go. All that stuff. I don't want any of that stuff. It's very hot in the valley. You know what I mean? I know they're not practical, but just a pool. So maybe you could chant for a pool.
Yeah.
For one of us.
I mean, chanting it works for her. That's her, thing. And Eric, who was in my band as well, he chants. And they're of different chanting sects,
okay.
SECT. They're different branches of Buddhism. And so I guess they're at odds. And so that's why Whole will never, I will say it today, Whole will never reunite because of religious differences, I believe, personally.
Because you're like, what are you guys talking about?
Right. I don't know.
That is so funny. But you would never reunite.
No.
Like you wouldn't even do one of those shows. What if VH1 came back and did it behind the music?
There was one about her. I think.
Yeah, but yeah. Were you in it?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck me. Sorry.
No, but I mean, it's not like, I don't see any clips of it anywhere. It's not.
Well, VH1 is like, we don't see anything.
Yeah, nothing. Yeah, I mean, I can never say never, but pretty sure.
Would you create another band?
You've been in
other bands.
Yeah.
But would you want to like be on tour and do it again?
No. I just, the last tour I did was with Kaisa. She's dance music.
Wait, what? I love Kaisa.
Right. She's amazing. I love.
Little redhead thing.
Yes. I love. Yeah.
She just did a song with my friend Bonnie McKee, who's also been on this show.
Okay. Canadian.
That doesn't make any sense for you to have been on tour with Kaisa. Right?
Well.
Is it because you're a redhead?
She needed a drummer, and her tour manager, I knew, and my friend Vice, Cooler, he was like, hey, she's looking for, Kaisa, was looking for a drummer for a tour. And so I was like, okay. So I went, and dance music is so freaking fun to play.
Yeah, no shit. You're also gay.
Yeah, there you go. So we did this tour together, and it was fun. And but we all caught COVID in the middle of the frickin' tour after being vaccinated.
We can't have nice things.
Yeah, we can't.
That's what I mean. I think you kind of did it, Patty. Listen, you survived.
And so after that, I was like, I don't want to.
Just studio for you.
Yeah, I'm done.
You're done. Yeah. Well, you did it. You lived it. You did it when it was the time to be done. Like, I'll tell you this. I should have, at 10 years old, gone to the House of Blues on 4th of July weekend and seen Tupac perform 1995. It's one of his last big, huge performances. I watched the video all the fucking time on YouTube. I didn't get to go. Nothing like that exists anymore. Right. Up in Smoke Tour, none of that shit's real. None of that stuff happens anymore. I did all the things, Shoreline Amphitheater. Yeah. Like, it's over.
Cypress Hill.
I am not a fan of Cypress Hill.
I am. I mean, we our Lollapalooza. They played and we played, and we were like, and
that guy's he has
our backstage was right next to each other, so there was constant pot smoke seeping under the door.
And you're like, get it away from here.
Melissa loves them. She would go and hang out with them. She still keeps in touch. I think
that guy's has a podcast. He's everywhere. That guy Be Real.
Yeah, I think he explained to me and Melissa once how they smuggled handguns on they would break them down and put them into Walkman. It was a whole thing. And I was like, wow.
Yeah, that feels methy. Right? Taking it P2P meth. I'm telling you, it's ruining everything. Patty, you're an icon and a legend. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you. This was fun.
Was it?
Yeah.
Did I do okay?
Yeah.
I was nervous.
Great. It was great.
I was like, what am I going to say? Well,
it's always, you're good. You're always, it's always entertaining when we talk. Always.
It is true.
Hey, this is Dan Harris, host of the 10% Happier podcast. I'm here to tell you about a new series we're running this September on 10% Happier. The goal is to help you do your life better. The series is called Reset. It's all about hitting the reset button in many of the most crucial areas of your life. Each week, we'll tackle a topic like how to reset your nervous system, how to reset your relationships, how to reset your career. We're going to bring on top-notch scientists and world-class meditation teachers to give you deep insights and actionable advice. It's all delivered with our trademark blend of skepticism, humor, credibility, and practicality. 10% Happier is self-help for smart people. Come join the party.